Hi guys, welcome back to the Morgan-Troddens channel. So people on Instagram and Facebook have been asking us for ages to do a Q&A / surrogacy talk. We're filming this today using our new toy, which is a Yeti blackout microphone by the brand Blue. Really good quality sound. It could be behind us because it picks up from all around the room. So yes, check them out if you need any microphones. Right, Q&A. I'm just loading my questions up. Right, okay. Also, do I know? Actually, I don't actually know who's asked these questions because the Q&A that I put out on Instagram was like 5 weeks ago. So thank you to everyone that replied. We had so many responses. This first question says, how does it feel being a parent to multiples?
We don't really know any different because they're our first.
Yeah. We're tired.
Very tired.
We love it. The babies are actually literally just over there. You can hear them. They sound like little lambs. Yeah, so we don't really know any different. If we'd had a child before, then obviously we would know that it was like double trouble. But to us,
That's all we know.
yeah, that's just being parents is having two. I don't know how people have triplets or more. Do you?
No.
I don't. You're crazy. I mean, you need a medal. Right. How are you finding being twin parents again? Actually, it's a bit of a different question. How do you find being twin parents?
It's very nice. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, we love it. We wanted to be parents for the longest time. So, me more so than Ryan. No, incorrect. I wanted to be a parent since I would have been. If I was a woman, I would have been on Teen Mum, I think. It took us a little bit longer, obviously. But Ryan, I don't know. When did you realise?
I think for me it was it weren't really a thing.
You thought it was?
Yeah, I didn't think it was a possibility for us. Well, for me. And then I met Kieran, started speaking about children, and things changed. And here we are.
Right. Okay.
Knee deep in sick, dirty nappies.
What was it you said the other day? I can never wear anything clean.
Can't you? You can never have clean clothes on.
And they're sicking down.
We've literally just put these clothes on.
Just for the video because.
And it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Shh. Right. Not a question, but your twins are absolutely beautiful. A truly beautiful family. Cute. Thanks.
Thanks.
Is daddy / dadhood how you thought it would be?
Still early days, I think.
I think it's even better than I thought it would be because when you're looking at your babies, they're yours, and I've always loved babies, but so they've always been someone else's babies, and now they're ours. Sometimes even still, I look at them and I'm like, wow, can't believe they're ours.
Pinch me moments.
Yeah. I'm super anxious. FTM. Twin girls come in 5 weeks. Any tips? Wow. Okay. Congratulations, firstly. And my advice would be sleep when they sleep.
Before they come, sleep as much as you can sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
people told us that, and I don't think we really listened.
Yeah, and you won't until they're here. But when you put them down, so obviously we were feeding ours every 3 hours originally, weren't we? Well, up to every 3 hours. They were response feeding, but the maximum they could go was 3 hours. So if you didn't get a good night's sleep, it's really important to just try and get some sort of sleeping during the day. At first we would just take it in turns every day. I would go and have a lay down for an hour, and so would Ryan. So I think it's just important to sleep. You've got to be your best to be able to look after the babies. But congratulations again. Do you want to read one?
Not a question. You're doing an amazing job. So thank you very much. Did you have any boy names picked? We did. It took us ages to decide on the second, but we did.
Well, we had one of each sex, didn't we, picked out?
Yeah, we chose a girl's name and we chose a boy's name. And we had them, and then obviously we found out our gender reveal party that we had 2 girls. So then we got to a point we had to choose another girl's name, which we completely ditched the boys' names, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because we really liked our boys' names.
Yeah.
Obviously, we really liked our girls' names.
No, we found out
as
at
well.
6 weeks we were having 2 babies, but 2 girls.
But
at the gender reveal.
So the names we had for boys were Caleb and Tate.
Yeah.
So feel free to use those.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to use those.
Yeah, we're not having any more. I can't have more than 2.
Absolutely not.
I can't. They're amazing. We love them to death. But 2 is enough children for us. That was me drawing the line.
Just draw a line.
Right.
How do you cope with 2 hungry babies? Kieran copes very well under pressure. And I panic a little bit.
Ryan doesn't. Ryan is the...
I panic.
What is it? How would you say it? The stereotypical dad.
Rude.
So he's like, oh my god, they're crying. I'm just like, chill. We're making them a bottle. They'll be fed in about 30 seconds. It's not going to hurt them. True story. and the same. How do people have triplets or quads?
Yeah, question. How do people cope with hungry triplets?
Yeah, if you've got triplets, comment and let us know.
Especially if you're on your own and your partner's at work or out doing the shopping.
Yeah.
How do you cope?
Crazy. Right, okay. Early days, but any plans for more babies in the future? Or shall I ask you when they're in school? Lol.
Do you want to hear the plans? There is no plans.
No, okay, so if we had 1 baby, I always wanted 2. Ryan always wanted 1. To be, like he just said, let's just have 1 because the whole process is too much. And I always wanted 2 because I have lots of siblings and Ryan is one of 3. So it just...
You say you have lots, it's like you have...
I do have lots.
Loads. You don't actually have that many.
Well, yeah. I come from a family where I have half siblings, which I don't consider them half, but I know some people refer to them as half siblings, and I have 1 step sibling, and in total there's 8 of us, so quite a lot of siblings.
And not only because of the amount of children, the pregnancy experience we went through wasn't the smoothest, so we probably wouldn't want to do this again.
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
So hopefully
Definitely.
we've got enough of our hands full.
Do you have a favourite book to read for your girls now?
I'm going to get a book.
Yeah, go get the book. So I must admit, we don't read to them that much, but which I don't know what age are you supposed to start reading to them or not. We don't read to them that much. We have done before, but we don't do it often. But my cousin actually brought us this book, Stella and the Family, and it's a book about a little girl with 2 dads, and they're having a Mother's Day disco. So if anyone wants to know where that book is from, I can find out. I guess you just search on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have some books that involve the girl's life. So we've got another one, The Kangaroo's Pouch. It kind of explains the story of surrogacy, but for children. The kangaroo carries for another kangaroo in their pouch, and they all lived happily ever after. Right, okay.
Next question. Have you guys got a slow cooker or a soup maker? 2 very good investments for parents. We have a slow cooker.
Yeah, and you hate. And
Ryan
Ryan hates it.
cooking in a slow cooker.
You don't. He doesn't like. He said he doesn't like his meat soft.
I don't like dried meat. So when you put chicken or something in a slow cooker, chicken or beef, I feel like. Moving on. Not a question, but you are the cutest family with gorgeous girls. I want to squeeze them.
Please don't.
Don't squeeze them. We don't squeeze them.
How does your paternity work? Do you both get 9 months off? Your girls are gorgeous. No, I don't.
If you can get 9 months off, tell us how you do it.
Yeah, no. So Ryan's paternity was 2 weeks paid. 2 weeks. Statutory.
You get 2 weeks statutory from the government, but I took a week and then I took 2 weeks worth of holiday, so I took 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
I was quite lucky though. We did it just after Christmas, so between Christmas and New Year, so I ended up getting an extra couple of days because of that. So I was off for probably nearly 4 weeks.
And I am on. If you're a same-sex couple, you're not entitled to statutory maternity leave. You're only entitled to adoption leave. Even though we haven't adopted a babies, so it's kind of the same as statutory adoption, as statutory maternity leave. But yeah, that's a whole nother video. Did you always see yourself as parents as multiples?
No.
Tell them about the day before we found out they were multiples.
Okay, so we were laying in bed, just having our general chit chat before we
Nervous because it was our first
say
scan the
goodnight.
next day.
Yeah,
6
obviously
weeks.
our brains are in overdrive because we've got our first scan that we've waited ages for, and I just said, "Oh my God, can you imagine if we get told that there are 2 babies and not 1 baby?" So Kieran kind of does I don't know, what did you do?
An impression.
You did an impression
As
of basically feeding 2 babies at the side of the bed with a next to me crib. And then we kind of laughed it off jokingly and said, "Oh my God,
Imagine.
can you imagine?"
That would never happen. And
So yeah, we left it at that. And then we went to the scan, and yeah,
I
we
was
found
at
out.
work.
I took our surrogate to the scan. Because of COVID, I couldn't go in, so I waited in the car patiently with her little boy because she's got a son. And yeah, had to call Kieran afterwards with the amazing but strange news that we both couldn't quite believe. So
yeah,
yeah,
you were like, "What are you doing?" So
I was like, "Yeah,
just sorting my lunch."
got something to tell you." I told him, "Is that you're joking?"
Okay? Everything okay?
I don't think it really sunk in until we were both home in the evening.
There's
and we
2.
were chatting
He said,
around.
"There's 2," and I went back in and I said to my boss, "I need to talk to you because I just had to tell someone to process it." Couldn't believe it. Didn't fully, and as well because it was so early, the scan was 2 little circles. So to me, it wasn't until the scans kind of started showing 2 actual babies that it was really wow, this is happening. Okay. How did you 2 meet? Ryan went to school with my older brother. His aunt was also my mum's next door neighbour because my dad was in the army and we lived in... Where did we live? Windsor.
We lived in army barracks around...
I did with my parents, and then Ryan's...
So my auntie and my 2 cousins and my auntie's partner at the time were basically following around with Kieran's family to different army barrack sites. So as a kid, I would go and visit my auntie, not really knowing that Kieran was kind of in the same area at the same time.
Yeah, we didn't realise that...
Didn't know.
We were who we were until kind of being together and working out wow, okay, yeah. And it all just sort of fell into place, and then our parents were like, "Oh, hello." They all knew each other.
So yeah, really from...
We live in the same area anyway.
School and the same area.
Growing up, and yeah.
That's that.
Now I'm stuck with this. What does TTTS mean? Twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome. So I do actually have a highlight story about it on my Instagram at the Morgan-Troddens. The girls were diagnosed with this at 20 weeks plus 6. plus 3 plus 6 plus 3
20 weeks plus 3.
plus 3.
Plus 3.
So, yes, we went for a scan. Our surrogate was checked, and they basically said these babies have twin-to-twin syndrome, and it needs immediate surgery. Ryan drove her from the hospital that she was at getting a scan to a London hospital, St George's in London. Shout out St George's.
Amazing.
You saved our babies' lives. We wouldn't have either of them here if it wasn't for those guys. And yes,
did surgery literally within.
It was the laser ablation surgery, wasn't it?
Yeah, laser ablation surgery, and they did it within. Literally, we got there around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think the surrogate was in surgery by like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
I mean, she's a hero because she was like not even worried about herself at that point. Just like, are you okay? Are you okay? And we're like, are you okay? So yeah, very, very scary times. And we had to wait. We did have a scan straight after to check the hearts were still beating, but they said it's
then a
very
scan
hit
the
and
next
miss.
day.
Then a scan the next day, and then it wasn't one then for 2 weeks. So within that 2 week period, we were kind of we stopped buying stuff.
Sitting on hope.
We stopped
Yeah, really.
setting things up at home just because we then started like researching things, and a lot of cases of twin to twin don't end
The way this ended.
yeah, I mean, yeah, so
There's also a Netflix documentary.
yes, the Surgeon's Cut episode 1 is about twin to twin syndrome, and I wish I knew the man's name. I feel like I've got to Google it because it's really disrespectful that I don't know his name. I'll find it. What's his name?
I literally don't know.
I know it.
Why don't you just Google it? Yeah, so that documentary has got everything in it, but well, it's basically all about twin-to-twin transfusion surgery and how it was discovered, how it's done, where it's done. So yeah, if you just watch that, you'll see everything that we kind of went through and saw.
The man is called Dr. Kypros, and
A Greek man?
yes, he's a Greek man. Watch the documentary, but he's a Greek man, and basically he invented twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome surgery, the laser ablation surgery, and he did it back in 1992, I think it was. It's on the documentary, don't fact check me. And yeah, he did it as a bit of an experiment. He said, I know what I'm doing, save this couple, they're twins, and it only affects identical twins as well. Some identical twins, obviously. So yeah, have a look.
Have a look at that. Go on, read this. Here's an interesting one.
Here's an interesting one. How did the hospital treat you? How did the hospital treat you? Watching Raised by Queers earlier, and they had troubles. So Raised by Queers is a programme about Kieran Richardson, an actor from Hollyoaks, and his partner, don't know his name. Carl. And they, yeah, that's on Channel 4 if you want to watch that. Actually, it's on YouTube, because I did share it recently on my story. So how are we treated by the hospital? We actually had the hospital heavily involved the whole time. I sent letters, they knew, they were well aware of what was happening. Now obviously there's two different sides, because there's obviously the maternity side of it, like the labour ward side of it, and then there's the NICU side of it, because the twins were early, 10 weeks. So when we were that side of
The maternity
side, obviously with the COVID restrictions, I wasn't actually allowed in, only Ryan, to see the surrogate at any time, which was hard for me because obviously she was in for 3 weeks, and
so yeah, her waters broke at 26 plus 6?
Yeah.
26 weeks plus, just under 27 weeks.
Yeah.
And the babies were born at 29 plus 6.
Yeah. So they did really well. They held her in and sort of...
She was in for 3 weeks.
Kept the babies in. Really hard because obviously she had a son at home. But yes, I couldn't go and visit her at all, which was obviously really hard for me. But as long as she was safe and well, and so were the babies, and so was her baby, her son, that's all that mattered. And we just got through it. So that side of it was a bit hard. Obviously, we totally understand those restrictions. So Ryan sort of was going there every night after work. And then what happened?
Then the babies were born, but whilst the babies were being born, I was allowed in, as I was classed as the birthing partner.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't allowed in. One of the midwives was really good. She FaceTimed me, so I watched them being born on FaceTime, which obviously isn't ideal, but
it's something.
You take what you can get.
We had an amazing midwife as well, so she done really well.
Yeah,
so
really, really good. The staff
lucky.
were incredible during that time. And then we went to NICU, again, amazing. We had one lady that, a NICU nurse, and she was incredible, and she really helped us. That was obviously day one. We held the babies, which was really rare for babies born that early on to be allowed to be held. We held them. It was all really good. Obviously had our COVID tests on the way in. Held the babies, all really good. Next day I get a call from the lovely NICU nurse, and she tells me that my test was inconclusive, so I have to go again and have one outside of the hospital in the drive-through lane.
Mine negative, so I could go back.
Yeah, so he went back the next day, and I went and just outside had my test. And then
the day after, which was a Wednesday, because the girls were born on a Monday,
positive.
We get the call that Kieran's test was positive, which means shutdown for both of us. We both cannot visit the hospital for
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And the babies were then in isolation as well. I'll actually put in a photo in between. The girls were in their own little isolation room. Yes, so
in a nutshell,
they were
eventually they did very well with us.
Yeah.
A few times we got the "Where is Mum?"
Yeah.
Which
it was more so as well when I went in to stay. I wasn't allowed to stay in. They call it transitional care. I wasn't allowed to stay in the main bit of transitional care. I was actually in a COVID room, even though at that time, this was like weeks later, I didn't have COVID. I had to stay in that COVID room because I was a man and it was a woman's ward, obviously, because women give birth and then go and they're in there with their babies. But they weren't prepared for us.
Although we were in the hospital for 3 weeks before they were born. It
wasn't the nurses, they were all amazing. It was more the hospital weren't with the times as much.
And a lot of the time, they were really good with us eventually, but a lot of it was, oh, look, we need to double check this and we need to double check that. And we'd be waiting around for ages for answers. And it got to the point where Kieran had asked questions about us having the babies, and then we kind of run out of time before we got the answers because the surrogate was already in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because they didn't check quick enough.
And they weren't all on the same page, so sometimes we would have... being with the COVID restrictions, they then changed the restrictions again. So when we were visiting the babies, there was only one parent to visit a baby at each time. But because we had twins, they said one of you can visit each one. Now the girls' incubators were next to each other like this, but we weren't allowed near each other the whole time we were in there. And we weren't allowed. We had to choose a baby on the way in and stick to that baby. Unless we went in there on our own, then we were allowed to see which. So I could go in there at 10 o'clock, see both the babies. Come out.
But as soon as I turned up, Kieran was not allowed to
choose one baby.
Yeah. Although we could drive there in the same car and we live in the same house,
but I mean, it is what it is. Can't complain.
It's done.
Yeah. So there was things that didn't make sense, and then some people would say to me, "Do you want to hold both the babies at the same time?" And I would be like,
"But we're not
sure
allowed.
if I'm allowed because of COVID." And they're like, "Yeah, don't be silly. Why would you not be there? Your babies, hold them together. Twin, like they want to cuddle and da. And then the next time we would go there, they'd be like, "Don't you go near each other." So yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But in terms of being a gay couple and how we were treated, we can't really complain.
No.
They did well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always room for improvement, but
yeah.
It was 2020.
The NICU was amazing.
NICU amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. as much as it can be being in that situation. But yeah. Oh, what is the newest thing you are watching on Netflix? At the time I actually answered this. It was Bridgerton. You alright, hon?
Sorry.
It was Bridgerton that we were watching at the time, and now...
Last night we just started watching It's a Sin, which is on 4OD, Channel 4. It's all about HIV, awareness. So far we've watched 2 episodes, really like it.
Yeah. It's got Ollie off Ollie off Years and Years on it. Yeah, didn't know he did acting, but hats off, very good. Which girl do you think is more relaxed than the other?
Aria. More relaxed, always.
Well, they swap.
Always. Kieran probably doesn't agree. Whenever I see them and I'm with them.
I think that they swap every day.
Yeah, to be fair, they have their days. Some days you'll have a really good night with one, the next it'll be a really good night with the other, and not the one.
It seems to be when we alternate it, because at night we look after a baby each, just to help us out. When Ryan's not working, if Ryan's working, I do the night feeds. So when that's happening that we're doing a baby each, he will say, well, I've got the difficult one again, and then the next night it'll be obviously the next, like, swap the babies over, and he'll be like, I've got the difficult one. Every night he's got the difficult one. So
you make it that I moan all the time that I've got a difficult child.
All if the boat fits.
Oh, come on. Not a question, but I just want to say you're smashing it. Absolutely loving following you. Thank you.
Thanks, hon. Do you have the girls' names picked in advance, or did you choose them when you met them? Skylar, we actually chose first.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, the name situation, we had one of each. So we had Skylar first, and then we chose Aria, which was why Skylar was always twin 1, because we chose that name first, and twin 2 was Aria.
Yeah, a lot of people say, is it not Aria and Skylar? We're like, no, it's always Skylar and Aria, because we always had Skylar first. So that's why we call them Skylar and Aria.
Yeah. How did you pick the girls' names and why? So yeah, Skylar was our first chosen name, and Aria, we liked Ariana, and then...
Not a fan at all. Not a fan.
Yeah.
You know, we liked Ariana, and we liked it that it could be shortened to Ari.
And then we like Ari.
Aria. And then, yeah.
And then since then, everyone's been saying to us,
did you get it from the Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
we've
or
never
what was
seen
the other one? Pretty Little Things or Pretty Little Liar? Pretty Little Liars?
Never seen either of them.
No, neither have I.
We're not aliens. We're just never.
I'm sure they're great.
Just not been interested.
No. Not a question, so I'm not reading it. No, I'm joking. Not a question, but just wanted to say you're smashing it. The girl's beautiful. Thanks, Dale. I'm expecting triplets soon. Any advice?
Good luck.
Oh no. Oh no. Wow. Congratulations. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Organisation and timing.
Get lots of storage.
Prepare everything.
Get lots of storage.
We use the little milk canister things. You know, you put the powder in, plastic lid. People take them on the go and make them. We've got 2 of those. I mean, we need another one. We've got 2 of those, and we actually just make them up, put them in the cupboard, and then when you're making a bottle, just do the water on the prep machine, and then you just whack the powder straight in there. So all our milks are all measured out all the time, our powders. It just makes it easier. Little things like that, just to save time. But you're going to need so many bottles.
Yeah,
aren't they?
We
and
had
nappies.
How many bottles did we have?
How many nappies did we have before the girls were here? We were like, oh, let's buy a few.
Yeah, we had stacks of nappies, and
so
now
many nappies.
The girls have been home for what, 6 weeks?
Yeah,
and we're already like, we need nappies.
Yeah, we need nappies.
We should count one day how many nappies we go through in a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good shout.
Right.
I did see actually on another person that we follow on Instagram. She has triplets, and she says she uses on average about 18 nappies a day.
Wow.
Which isn't much really, is it, between 3 children?
No.
But it's a lot of nappies.
Yeah, but you think, gosh, yeah, that's a lot. Right, night feeds. Take turns or do them together. Now,
Friday to Sunday, we do them together.
Well, see, this question I read it two different ways.
Okay, got him.
Are they talking about the babies or the dads?
Night feeds, take turns to do them together. Ah, okay. Well, answer it both ways then.
Yeah, so like Ryan was just about to say before I rudely interrupted him, if he's not at work, we do them together, baby each, alternate each day. If he's at work, I do them, and if you're talking about the girls,
you do
fed
them
within half an hour of each other, pretty much.
I do them up to around 10, half 10, and then from about 5 o'clock onwards in the morning.
No,
anything in between
in the morning and 5.
Yeah, it depends which way it falls. Anything in between, so from like say 11 p.m. to 5 a.m.
The two night feeds.
Kieran does those.
Nice. I'm on night watch.
And the other question? Was there another question to that one question?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you do them together? Oh,
The
maybe
girls.
feed them together.
Yeah, I've tried it. No, they wear more of it
work.
than anything else.
I think they're too young at the moment to know what's going on, so a lot of it comes down.
How are the twins doing? Amazing.
Really well.
Yeah, they're growing. They're putting on so much weight. I mean, they were £2.2 and £2.4, and now they are.
A week and a half ago, they were £6.13 and £7.
That's it.
And they are 11 weeks old, so
Yeah, 1 week corrected.
doing really well.
When COVID is gone, what would you want Ari and Skylar's first holiday to be? Now we actually had a holiday booked once, really random. Thomas Cook went bust. We were supposed to go on the Monday. Did it go bust on the? No, we were supposed to go on the Wednesday. It went bust on the Monday.
We were going to Turkey.
Yeah, and
Just the two of us.
he changed it to he rebooked it with Tui to a totally different place. And
By the last minute, we flew out eventually on the Friday, so we found out on the Monday that Thomas Cook had gone bust, and I booked not anything that I could get hold of, but
it was a
something
Rio
nice.
hotel.
And yeah, I booked a Rio in Chiclana in the south of Spain.
It's amazing.
Chiclana de la Frontera, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Probably one of the nicest hotels we've actually ever stayed in.
Yeah,
so
and it wasn't
really
that,
well.
It wasn't overpriced.
Found. It wasn't overpriced.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Food
and
was
it was
lovely.
really nice. Nice beach. Food was lovely, which Kieran likes. The drinks were great, which we both like. Great kids section. So we want to go back there as soon as we can get the girls out of here.
Right, okay. Weird, but how many aunties and uncles do the twins have? Do the twins have?
Too many.
Right.
On my side,
Two
they
aunt-
have 2 aunties, 1 uncle.
My side,
Here we go.
not even worth going there. I don't know. Too many. Loads.
3 uncles. Maybe? Anyway, next question.
How soon after they were born could you meet them?
They were born...
Oh my goodness me. There was no stopping me. I mean, I respected the fact that I couldn't go into the labour ward because of COVID, but as soon as those babies were in NICU, I was...
Kieran was there within 2 hours. Well, you were allowed in within 2 hours.
I was at the door, buzzing. Ding dong.
I literally met
Ding
you...
dong!
I was on 1 level with the surrogate. I was actually on level 3 with the surrogate.
And I was pushing everyone out of the way.
After she had the babies, and then I met... Was it on the same ward? Yeah, I met Kieran outside the lifts on the same ward.
Yeah, the doors were like next to each other.
At 9 a.m, and we were both allowed to go through. So, yeah. Same day.
Ooh, juicy! Did you have a surrogate? If so, will you be keeping in touch? Beautiful family, by the way. Yes, and our surrogate was actually a family member. So, yeah. She can't get rid of us that easily.
We can't get rid of her. She's not getting rid of us.
Yeah, no. We're very close knit. So, yeah. Shout out to her. We don't actually share too much information about our surrogate, but that is on her request. So, don't ever think that we don't share enough about her because she doesn't want to be shared.
Anyway,
Just want to say your babe's beautiful and Skylar is such a great name, same as my daughter. Good taste. How do you keep on top of your housework, guys? Asking for a friend. Well, we don't really have time for much. Just when they sleep, you just got to get as many jobs as you can done. The bottles are never ending. That is like our housework. We haven't got time to mess anything else up because you're just looking after the babies. And I suppose if we're undressing them, you undress them, change them, straight in the wash basket. Just do it when it needs to be done. And
They do sleep.
yeah,
You get it done then.
and I've got a maid, so. Can you tell the girls apart? Have you ever mixed them up and thought, crap, which one's which?
Okay, so at the minute it's kind of easy. It's not easy. They actually look very similar, but one is slightly bigger than the other, and we know which way around that is. But when it came to us cutting off the hospital bands, we did actually paint one of the twins' toenails pink, which was Skylar. That way that if ever we did get them mixed up, we would know that the pink toenail is Skylar.
I mean, we can tell, kind of, like, sometimes it's really hard, but we can tell, I can really tell, but my mum had a friend...
You did get them mixed up last night though.
Yeah, I did. My mum had a friend who has identical twins, and she went out and left her mother-in-law to look after them, and they were dressed so she knew which outfit was on which, and the mother-in-law bathed them, and she got home and was like, wah! Didn't know which one was which. So
yeah, we kind of know what we're doing, but it's when maybe someone else looks after them.
I can't.
We don't want that worry.
Imagine that. Did you actually add sperm to the egg? Because these ladies look like you both. We don't actually discuss the IVF side of stuff with people. We don't tell people what we did, what we used, what we didn't use. People say, who's the dad? Well, yeah, but who's really the dad?
We're both the dads.
Exhibit A and B. None of y'all business.
Next question.
I'm so glad I found your account. My first baby is 29 plus 2, and your girls are amazing. 2 very lucky girls. Ooh. Ours are 29 plus 6, so congratulations for
Your babies.
your baby.
Or your baby. Sorry.
Not a queue. Not a queue, but can't even deal with 1 baby, let alone 2, so well bloody done. Thanks. How do you... I love this question. I actually saw this question when I screenshotted the responses for this post. How do you deal with unwanted advice or opinions from the older generation?
We get a lot of this.
So, we do get a lot of this. I think we've got off a little bit lightly because we don't have family over here because of COVID. But we do get a lot of it, especially like my nan. She's gonna kill me because she's gonna watch this. Just our parents. I mean, we're gonna be exactly the same when the girls have kids. We're going to be telling them what we know, but sometimes I think you've kind of got to learn for yourself.
And I think you've got to go with the times as well. A lot of what people used to do, like Kieran's just stated, his nan, bless her, back then it was probably different, and there weren't as much advice out there and tips of how to do this or do that. You kind of just, I think you probably just learn as you went along, but now there's so many forums and so many do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
Use this, don't use that.
It's kind of what the health visit is for as well.
So, yeah, and we're lucky enough that we do have a health visitor come round, and she is an amazing support and help.
Either of you back to work, how is other finding managing 2 babies? So Ryan is back to work, I am managing the babies at the moment. I actually go back to work in 4 weeks. Yeah, babies. I actually go back to work in 4 weeks, which part of me thinks I'm mad, but I can't, because of COVID. I'm stuck in this house, like just stuck with no
Yeah,
business.
because of COVID.
So I kind of really want a bit of normality, and
Kieran doesn't work extremely long hours anyway. No disrespect. So actually, we're quite lucky that Kieran does what he does. He works with children, so it's kind of just school hours. So it's not like a 9 to 5 job.
yeah,
So it's not the worst thing, and we're going to work around it.
yeah. Somebody's just asked, can you please link the baby carrier that you quite often have in your videos? The baby carrier, I'll put the link in the description below. They are called Kaboo, and they are Kaboo carriers. They are so soft and comfortable. I actually took who did I take? Aria. I took Aria. We took Aria to our local town because I need to go to the bank and put some money in. I didn't want to leave Ryan with both the babies, so I took her in the Kaboo carrier. Really, really, really good. She was so warm. She had her like snowsuit on inside, and she was like a little hot water bottle.
And the babies don't go anywhere in there. They are so snug.
Oh, she slept the whole
We
time.
actually feel pregnant when we wear them.
yeah, yeah. That's the closest thing we're going to get to being pregnant.
They're so secure that
yeah.
I can actually. The other night I was demonstrating doing some lunges and some squats with the baby in the carrier, so
they were perfectly safe.
They are really safe and a very, very good investment.
Yeah. Have a look. Right. Okay. Not a question, but you have the cutest family. I'm sure it's hard, but it looks like you two are doing amazing. Thank you. What is something on your bucket list that doesn't involve travelling? Oh, I know. Oh, it does involve travelling, but not travelling far. I want to go on a camper van holiday. Hire a camper van and take the girls, obviously when they're a little bit older. But that's
we did say that we wanted to travel a little bit around the UK or a certain part of the UK. Because we're obviously both from the UK. It's not a huge island, but there's a lot of it we haven't actually seen. So
yeah, I don't really think
if there's ever another year like last year, we could do that.
Never. I don't think there's anything that I would say that's on my bucket list. I'm not an adventurous person. I don't want to jump out of an aeroplane. If someone threw me out of an aeroplane with a parachute on, I'd be dead by the time I got to the floor because I would have had multiple heart attacks. I'm petrified of heights.
Basically, there is no bucket list without travelling. We need to travel.
Yeah, we love travelling. That is our thing. And eating.
They're living this holiday that's all inclusive.
Yeah.
Shouting out to Rio again.
How long have you two been in a relationship, and when is your anniversary?
Right, without no, you just look.
The 14th for the 6th. 14th for the 6th, 2015.
Cheek.
Shall I show you what I'm looking at?
Yeah. We've been in a relationship for 5.5 years. Very long time.
It says, this was a gift from him. Kieran and Ryan, every love story is beautiful, but ours is my favourite. 14th for the 6th, 2015.
XO. That is our anniversary date, 14th of June, and we have been together 6 years this June. It's a long time. Due to get married next May.
Yeah, we were supposed to get married last September, but
then it was this May. Now it's next May. So,
how are you really finding parenting, Ryan? How are you really finding parenting?
It's stressful. It's nice. It's warm. It'll be nice when we get to mix with other people. At the minute, it's I think it's just strenuous is the word. But it's very nice.
Yeah.
We get a lot of love on here, so
yeah,
we'd like to say thank you for that.
What do you both do for jobs? I know one of you will be on leave now, but just curious. So I work with children in a nursery. I'm the deputy manager of a preschool. I manage an after-school club. And then I work at a kids' holiday club in the holidays. Well, I did, but I'm not doing that now because...
You're a dad?
Yeah, I'm a dad.
And I work in customer services. I work in the freight forwarding industry, so office based. Yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah. Right, guys. So thank you so much for all your questions. We've had fun. Steady, steady. Oh, ready, steady.